Growing up, I always felt like I was never going to die. And this was me about I think 12 years or 13 thereabout. Yeah, I was in junior high school when I first had a thought. I always thought that people only died because they closed their eyes and fell asleep. Because they usually say that if you don't know how death looks like, look at sleep. So I always saw it in movies how people die, they shut their eyes and then they are gone. So I always felt, I could outlive the whole entire universe because all I had to do was not fall asleep and not close my eyes. So fast forward, and that was perception. That wasn't reality. Perception is not reality. So fast forward, I grew older and then I started watching a lot of events, Olympics and stuff. And I realized if people can lift this much weight, if these people can do this with their bodies, swimming with dolphins and performing all these complicated skills, complicated stunts, and these people still end up dying. Look at gymnastics. They look like immortals. Look at what they do with their body, and they still end up dying. That's when it dawned on me that I was going to die so fast, maybe even faster than most people. Yeah, I knew I was. That's when I realized that the reality was that I was going to die. So after high school, I don't know, I'm sure it's not the case for a lot of people, but personally for me, after high school, these were classmates that I sat in the same class with. Okay, I was close with in high school. So right after high school, barely a year, we started hearing news about colleagues dying, and maybe a year or two later on, you hear that one of your colleagues who is a soldier has died. He just went to sleep and never woke up, something like that. I mean, I heard the news, but it doesn't really hit you as much as when you lose someone that you really love, like your mother or a sibling. Okay, so we heard the news. Um, it's not that painful, even though you shared a lot of moments with that person and you sat in the same class with the person. You know them, like you know this guy, and then you hear he's dead. You just feel sad, like, oh, that's a sad thing. Condolences to the family and all that. But you don't really grieve like that. You're not going to grieve as much as the family does. Like if the family is grieving on like 100%, you're going to be like 30 at best. you know. So yeah, a few of my friends around me died after high school. It was sad, but it wasn't really painful. I didn't grieve. My along the line growing up, family members started falling off, friends here and there. You go to um, university, later on you hear some of your friends have died. It doesn't really hit you as deeply as the way it hits the family who are really connected. Mm. But it's it was until I lost a close family relative that I was deeply connected to. Okay, I was deeply connected to this person, and when I lost them, it was different. That's when I really understood grief. That's when I really understood grief. And this is me waking up every morning wishing that I never wake up again. Like if there was a door that I could just walk through and never come back again, I would do it instantly without thinking twice. Because that's how it feels now. That's my reality. Like, what am I even living for? This person was basically my purpose. So I built my whole life around this person, being there for them every time. My whole struggle was, okay, I want to be something so that this person is proud of me. That kind of feeling. And sometimes you can even lose your father or your mother, but you are not really connected to them on that level. Like they are your parents, but maybe because they treated you so bad growing up, you are not really connected to them. I've seen friends cousins who lost their mother or father, and they don't even cry, like they're not even sad about it, they're actually happy about it. Yeah. So there's a difference. You only feel the grief when you are connected to the person. And me losing this person is the first time that I've felt like I've actually realized that I'm not in control. My whole life, um, my brain has been my protective being. I'm able to predict a lot of events, and this is the one event that, because the person went out in the most unimaginable way, so healthy, like there was no sign that I was going to lose them this way. But then I did. That's when I realized that um, I'm not really in control. And so quotes like live every day as if it's your last day make a lot of sense in this situation for me. Even though I didn't leave anything unsaid with them, but I wish I had one last conversation with them before they left. But I didn't have that. By the time I got to the hospital, they were already gone. And I got there really fast on average, yeah, less than an hour, and they were gone. And and this is the first time. Normally I've always been a lone wolf my entire life. Sometimes once in a while I become self-aware and I realize, oh, I've really been doing a lot of things on my own for the past years. Okay, yeah. So I've been a lone wolf for most part of my life. I don't discuss my problems with people. I just work them out. And if it's too much, I read books on how to fix them, self-help books, books from um, books on temperament, like why you act the way you do, by Tim Lahai. Those of you who read, books like this. So I read books, I watch videos. Movies helps a lot too. Then I figure out how to work out the particular emotion I'm feeling. So my whole life, I've always been able to fix everything with me emotionally, psychologically, very easily. Not easily, it's difficult, but I always do it every time. I mean, sometimes it takes me a few months, maybe 6, 7 months, sometimes a year, but I always come out strong. But this is what I'm going through right now. I know I'm never going to recover from. It's going to change me for the rest of my life, and I can only hope that it changes me positively. You know, there's going to be a part of me that is going to be open up forever. But I hope that after all this, I still have a more positive part of me. Like if I have 70% positivity and 30% negative, I'll take that deal. Yeah. Because I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to heal. And the reason why I'm not going to be able to heal is that I can't even, you see, this is the kind of pain that is there, but you can't really figure it out. It doesn't feel so painful. Like you're not going to be feeling the pain like something is hurting you, but you just feel 100% disorganized, restless, stressed, but there's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to touch, there's nothing to move, no piece to the puzzle. You just know that you are fucked up. Just know that you are fucked up. And that's grief. And I think we don't talk about it enough in our society. We don't talk about it. Everybody just acts like life is one happy thing and just normal. We all move around like everything is okay. Until one day it happens to you. And then your journeys stop at least for a month or two. Your routine stop from being going to the office, going to the cafe, going to restaurants with your friends, going to the beach, or lying at home watching movies, to going to the morgue, asking of prices of the caskets, asking of people who dress dead bodies. That is what your routine becomes. That is how sad life is, and that's the reality. And the funny thing is, you see, when you come on social media, there's parts of social media that reveals that part of life. 100%, they tell you about all the reality of life. And I had been on that part of social media for over 5 years before I lost this person. And I still feel like I never knew something like this was possible before it happened. Even though I watched movies, anybody who has watched this movie before, what's the name? The Fault in Our Stars. You know the story between the guy and the girl. Everything pointed towards the girl dying before the guy, but the guy ended up dying in the most bizarre way, and the girl was still alive. That's how it happened. I've watched movies where that have taught me. I've watched videos on TikTok, people's experiences that have taught me that Anybody can just wake up in the morning and just lose their life. There's no one in it. I knew that, but when it happened, I still reacted to it as if I never knew that. So just imagine somebody who has never been exposed to that. No. And the most painful part of it is that I see how it affects everyone else who was connected to this person. And I wish I could take their pain away, but there's nothing. There's not even the right words to say. I mean, when someone loses a loved one, even the condolences that you give to the person, you calling them to wish them well, and checking on them from time to time, is equally as painful as them losing the person. It's like a reminder. It's very weird, but it's like a reminder that this person is dead. Do you remember that this person is dead? Even though that's not what they are saying, that's how you feel. You wish they will stop calling you. You wish they will stop checking up on you. But of course, that's what they are going to do because they feel, as human beings, they owe you that, which they do. But the way you feel it as a human being, you cannot control. That's how it feels. You wish everybody stops that, and you wish nobody shows you pity because of that. Everybody is going to start treating you as this fragile thing, like you're an egg going to break any second if they lose grip. But you don't want that. But that's what they are going to do. But eventually, I guess it all passes away because they are going to forget we are human beings. Yeah. So, for those of you who've never watched a video on grief, I hope this throws a bit of light on it. Even if it's 10%, it gives you a 10% idea on how it is. My mission here is accomplished. I hope this helps. This is not a kind of pain that I will wish on my worst enemy. Yeah, this is not it. Nobody deserves this. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. Yeah.